I appreciate y'all for coming on.
Oh, what's up, baby? Brown the GOAT.
All right, I'm gonna go get started. Hot Rod. Welcome to KLU59 Sports. I'm your host, Kevin Lewis, marketing manager for Chipotle Real Sports for Real Athletes campaign. I have with me a huge panel of special folks. Let's start with Omari Zachary, Barry Howard, Pastor Russ, Rodney Wells, and Mr. Cameron Salisbury. These guys that are in front of me are a conglomerate of stuff, all counties and first team, all states, and heck, I think Golden Helmet Awards for right now. I think Golden Helmets, we started losing respect for them. There was so many passed around these guys. And then these guys also all had the opportunities to go to the next level and play football at the next level, Division I. And I know for Pastor Russ, he decided to go another direction, but he could have been that as well. So I'm just really excited for having these guys here. And guys, I appreciate you.
So glad to be with you, bro.
Yeah. So we'll start with Mr. Salisbury, man. What's going on?
What's happening, man? What's going on, man? I appreciate it. I'm just honored that I'm on this phone call and in this group with y'all, man. You know, I grew up. I know. I met Kevin, Omari. I met Kevin and Barry on the same day at the fairgrounds when we were 7 years old.
Wow.
I met Omari and Ike on the same day. I think not too long after that, after we beat them one of them games at Oakland. And I know, and I remember, and Rodney was the meanest cat I think I ever played against. When he played the dog, that nigga was so mean, bro. And Russ, me and Russ lined up together my whole senior year, so you know that's my boy.
Absolutely.
You gotta go now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so man, I appreciate. I'm glad I'm on here, man. I'm honored. I always wanted to be part of y'all little clique, but I'm happy, man. Appreciate
it. Pastor Russ, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Man, I'm just glad to be able to put on your all stars. You know, I'm just a humble pastor in the area, but I had a good time, you know, playing against you guys and with you guys. And you know, I've been knowing Kevin since Pine Hills days, and I done played against all of y'all at least a couple of times. And so I played with Cameron my junior and senior year at Edgewater at the real E-High.
We're going to have a little hate about that. We had Galen Scott, you guys who are listening to us and live with us. We had Galen Scott, but he had to cancel at the last minute. So we tried to get some E-High representation, but we went with the real E-High, I guess, as they say. Mr. Barry Howard, what's going on?
Not much. Oh, there we go. What's going on, Kay? What's going on, fella?
Nothing much, man.
What's up, brother?
Oh, not much. Glad to be on here with my boys, Kevin and Omari. Them like my brothers there, more than just friends. Them my brother. Cameron as well, you know, we grew up playing ball at Pine Hills, and he was that good QB, you know. and Rodney is another brother, cousin, / whatever. He's a good family member of mine. You know, he's been around us, so, you know. And Mr. Russ, you know, hey, how you doing?
How you doing now, bro?
Mr. Omar Zachary, OZ, what they call him. What's going on?
What's up, brothers? How y'all doing, man? I've been knowing y'all boys since Pine Hills days, you know what I'm saying? I played for Southside Steelers first. then, you know, came over to Pine Hills, you know, where we just ran things, you know, championships and everything, man. So, yeah, man, it was love, bro. I've been with y'all boys since then. Little League all the way to J High. You know what I'm saying? So it's been love, brothers.
And Coach Wells, what's going on, man? We got a real hitter on the crew. And that's Coach Wells.
We got a head hunter.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, man?
Hi.
Man, we're just happy to be doing something different, man. We've been quarantining and going crazy in the house.
No.
Good to see y'all boys, man. Hey, but like Barry said, man, Barry like my brother, my cousin. Hey, go in the other room, baby. So yeah, I got a little 3-year-old. She run the house, so. And we had, hey, just like you know, I started out at Tangelo, then we went to St. Mark, Barry.
Yeah.
Pine Hill, then I went to St. Mark, back to Tangelo, Southside. Still, we was all over the place, man. But I know most of y'all boys from way back, you know, middle school days.
Oh.
Wow, well, that's awesome, man. Well, let's start the conversation. And the first thing I thought about when I was thinking about putting this together is hit. It'll be hit.
Yeah.
Or should y'all remember, I got one big center.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got two big guards.
It's really hard.
Hey, K, I remember when you came back and you was like, you gave us a beat and it was can't get enough.
That funky stuff.
That funky stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cameron, the official historian of this group, man. That joker don't forget nothing.
I love them days, man. I love them days. I don't think the kids in the league don't, in part one, they don't do like the beats with the pass and stuff no more, do they?
Nah. It's more of the coaches talking and they responding to the coaches.
Yeah.
What coaches saying, you know, like that. But yeah.
So thinking about Little League, man, it was awesome. It was fun days. I think I thought about eating after the game more than I did the game itself. I was kind of focused on we was gonna be able to go across the street from Evans and go to have a choice of McDonald's or Hardee's.
Yeah.
I think that was my focus. But man, when you think about Little League, man, let's throw out some names. And I thought about what are the top 3 players that you remember from Little League, and I'll let you guys start. Russ, go ahead.
I got 3. Right,
Oh, go ahead, Cam.
And Little League,
Right.
Barry Howard was the best fullback linebacker I ever seen in my life.
Okay.
I remember his story. I remember we playing somebody. My mama got the tape, and Barry hit somebody so hard. That was the first time I ever heard the crowd go, "Ooh!" Nice, bro. We was mighty nice, right? So Barry's one was in the top 3.
Okay.
Corey Matthews.
Yes, sir.
Real.
Yes, sir.
And then our teammate, the man child out there. Well, I'll put it like this. Justin Williams was definitely in the top 3. But when we all played, when it was red and white, when we split the teams up, Barry was on my team, Mighty Mice, but when we split like Dream Pee Wee and other ones, he was with Coach Scott and I went with Coach Brown. So me and Kay was on the same team.
Yeah, white. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kay and Justin, when we did Oklahoma, Kay and Justin was the top 2 boys, and they would go head up, and then me and Tori would go head up right after every single time. So that would be. It's hard. I would go top four. Would have to be them 3K, and then when OZ and Ike came over to Pine Hill, I knew we was gonna win state. I knew it as soon as they came over there.
So Rodney, let's get you in there, man, because you came from a different system. Who was your top three?
Yeah, on the other side, I would have to say I used to go. Donnie played. Donnie, my boy Donnie James.
Okay,
big enough.
He played for everybody. I would have to say Ike Charlton. You know, he was. Man, what's the boy name from Cowboys? That big old pass, the running back.
Cowboy.
But who it is, for the Cowboy?
Man, he was the biggest joker on the field all the time, bro. Right there gave us. I remember going to watch Corey Matthews. He never played with us. He was always over there at Dr. Phillips.
OZ, who your top three?
I just remember watching like our era. Corey Matthews he always was on the younger teams, but you know, he was real raw. Justin back then, you know, Jay Funk was a big old running back. You know, Jay Funk used to run that thing back in Pine Hills now.
Yeah.
And then what was that guy that played for Pine Hills? He was older than us.
Rodney Brown.
Rodney Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go the rack, the towels, and all that.
Oh, he was everything.
He used to run that thing, man. Rodney Brown, it was raw. He was older than us, but boy, he was raw,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Rodney Brown, guys, and I named him number one, and I'm gonna tell you why. I went with him one. I went Corey Matthews 2 and Jay Funk 3. Reason why I went with I'll start with Jay Funk. Jay Funk was just the biggest dude and the fastest most of the time on the field, and so nobody could tackle him. Then you had Corey Matthews used to win games by himself. It was like he was playing basketball out there with football. But Rodney Brown, you guys, everybody would stay after, leave, and come back to watch a Little League football game with that guy in. The stands would look like half of a high school game for every game that guy played in. So that's why I feel like he was number one. Russ, who you got?
Well, I had a different story than the rest of y'all because y'all had all the athletes on y'all team. Because I was too big, I had to play for the Chiefs, the unlimited weight team. So we had all we had was some older kids on the team with us. Some Kieran they was at Evans, and we was 11 and 10. I remember Boo and Po Boy. Y'all remember them?
Yeah.
They used to kill me. I'm in 6th grade. They at Evans. They just throwing us. I remember my first day of practice, I didn't want to play football no more. I'm 11, they 15 and 16. But we played with a bunch of, I used to like to watch, I remember we scrimmaged y'all. We was way bigger than y'all, and y'all wore us out because y'all was fast. Who it was? It was Olin. I think it was Olin Penniman. Olin.
That was Ricardo team. That was Ricardo Griffin now.
Ricardo, yeah. Man, God, dog. I can't say who was the best back then because one nobody I played with the best. We were just bigger than y'all. And so I just used to just come watch y'all play. I didn't know who was the best. But it was a lot of fun though.
I played it my second year. I played at West Side Seminoles. And I played against Jeremy Rudolph. He played nose tackle. And he took the hand off from our quarterback as a nose tackle, took the hand off and scored like as a nose tackle. He took the ball from the quarterback as he came back from the running back.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he
So staying in the Little League mode, man, and I knew that most people would talk about offense, but when it go to defense, who are some of the guys that you remember? I know obviously you named Barry Howard, Cam, but I'm gonna go back to you, Rodney. Who'd you like on defense and really kind of like, wow, that joker be hitting out there?
After them boys from Pine Hills, I don't know if y'all remember Tyrese White. He was over there of who practiced at the fairground? Whoever that was practiced at the fairground. I forgot the name of the team. But Tyrese, he had 4 DBs, and I'm talking about they were bringing that scunion. I already know. All I remember was Tyrese, and they used to take they face masks up, you know, like the old school.
Wow, yeah.
Them boys used to bring it, you know. Them that's probably the ones and the boys from Outlaws and Cowboys. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I say that Outlaws back in the days too. When I played with Tangelo, they had that. That's when I think that's when my brother Jock and Bakar and all them boys played over there. So yeah, they had that stick over there too.
Cameron, who would you say
for defense?
Yeah.
Like Barry was my number one easy, but I remember later on, like when we got junior senior business, I remember Slip. I remember Slip playing for Southside.
Yeah, Andre.
And he was all over the field. So I remember those.
Now the hardest hitter I remember growing up, man, would go with and Ricardo group wasn't so hot as far as like they wasn't great, but there was a guy that played with them and I can't think of his last name, but his first name was Andre as well. And Andre used to bring the heat on defense.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his last name either.
Yeah, his son at Jones right now. He had Jones. He had an older one that went to Olympia, but now he had Jones.
I don't know his last name either. I know you're talking about.
I used to be sitting there like, man, this joker is coming down here at strong safety before we knew what the position was. All right, so I know we talked a little bit about teams. You brought it up a little bit, Cam, but the best team ever assembled.
Now, you know what team that was. Hands down. You know, when we went to Winter Haven?
Yep.
Yep. Had beat some team by like 35 points in 3 quarters.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Winter Haven had all them old kids. Remember they had all them old boys.
Big old, yeah.
I think we were gonna do nothing. Yep. And we ended up beat Armadale, I think with like 12-6 or something like that. I threw a pick 6.
Hey, look. So this is what I remember. So the team he's talking about, myself, Barry, OZ, Cam, David,
Thomas,
yeah.
Justin.
We had J Phone, we had Ike and Marlon. Right.
But we were nasty, boy.
We had Ike and Marlon. And I just used, man, it was so, and OZ was on the team as well. It was so competitive. All I remember, I ended up somehow playing running back on that team.
OZ played tight end.
Oh, no, sir.
Safety or something.
All I remember during them times was, man, you better score because whoever get the ball next is gone. So I argue all the time when I talk to people that we had the greatest team ever assembled for probably what, 12-year-olds, I guess we were, 11-year-olds maybe.
Around 11.
And because I always looked at it like, man, we ended up with 3 guys from that team playing the NFL, and we weren't the best people on the team.
Who we had? You, Ike, and who else?
And
Marlon. And Marlon.
We weren't the best.
Man, y'all was the best.
I don't think I was. Not even. Rodney, going back to them teams on the other side, who'd you like?
Yeah, I don't have the history y'all have, man. I think I only played 4 years. I played with Tangelo twice. Then went to St. Mark's, Southside. So I have to say, you know, that undefeated team that we had when we played for Tangelo, I just remember going home crying because they put me in guard. I was too big, you know. Coach Donnie and Coach Holiday, they had that Burger King sandwich for me, but I couldn't do it until weigh-ins. I'm crying on it.
Wow.
So you always had trouble making weight?
Huh?
You always had trouble making weight?
Yeah, I never could make weight. No.
You should have came over to us. We didn't have to wait nothing. We was unlimited.
Over there.
Trash bags and stuff, Rodney.
Older boys, I had to do everything. And then my first 2 years, they put me on the line. I was about to quit.
Hold on, Coach. So how you having these conversations with these kids and you ain't want to?
Right.
He ain't want to block either.
Hey.
Ain't nobody want to block.
Then Barry uncle took me, Coach Dunning. Then he put me at quarterback when we played for St. Mark.
Right.
So I think we played St. Mark 1 or 2 years, and I played quarterback, and that's how I got my nickname, Blue, because Coach say, "Hey, Blue, Blue, Blue." That means I get to run what I want to. So you know I run an 18 sweep all the time. Yeah, so it was be that St. Mark team, but one of the Tangelo team. I just remember when we played St. Mark, I don't know if we had one loss. We went down there and played, I think it was them Jacksonville boys. And I mean, first half, I think it was 35-0, putting it on. They had goals and beers and everything. And we couldn't stop nothing they was doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, man, so moving right along, last question, and last time we talked about Little League, man, and I'm gonna cheat because I'm gonna answer this one because I know 3 of y'all probably gonna say that, steal the name if I don't say it first. So best coaches, Frank Scott and Uncle Donnie.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, I agree on that one there. I 100 there. Yeah, them two right there. Yeah, that's real easy. Them 2 coaches there, not as just being just coaches, they always been like mentors, you know, especially to me, you know what I mean? Even Coach Frank, you know, and my Uncle Donnie, you know, they just always been mentors. Just, you know, I was by a single mom, so, you know, that just helped me along the way right there with them 2 just being in my life, you know. So I give all hats to them 2 guys there, you know, for real.
OZ, who you got?
Both of them coaches there was great, you know what I'm saying? But really, like, all of my coaches coming up, even that Southside Steelers, Robert Reed, you know, he was a great coach. Then once I went to the Cowboys that 1 year, Coach Jensen was good. So, you know, all of my coaches always was great, you know what I'm saying? Coming up.
That's old boy. That's old boy there over there, that Cowboy. That's that one that act a fool over there. Yeah, he used to act a fool over there.
Coach Jensen used to come and pick me up every day, boy, you know what I'm saying?
So I always felt, and I put the Cowboys coaching staff last on my list. And not that they was last, but I think the first 2 kind of kind of got the edge over them.
Oh yeah, they were
And I said the Cowboys staff because I don't know how they fit 40 kids in a station wagon and showed up
yeah, Coach Jesse gonna get them there now.
Just for that.
Yeah.
Cameron, who you got?
Yeah, it's gonna be Coach Scott and I call him Coach Daniels. Yeah, that's who I would be. That's who I would think. I can't think of Coach Daniels and Coach Scott only coached me like maybe 1 or 2 years because we came up with Coach Brown. But Coach Scott though, he was always because he also coached me in baseball all coming up. So yeah, man, it would have to be. I can't think of it, but Coach, you remember we love Coach Mixon now. Remember Coach Scoop Daddy?
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah, he was.
I'm friends with him on Facebook. I can't think of nobody else though.
How about yourself?
Scoop.
Coach Will.
Yo.
I said, how about you, coaches? Best coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Little League.
Hey, I only had one. That's Uncle Donnie. I was going.
Hey, that's the funny part. He wasn't Coach Daniels and Coach Daddy. He was Uncle Daddy to everybody.
Right.
So that was always a pleasure, man. All right, we're gonna move right along to something that was given to us at Jones High School. We're gonna move to high school and I'm gonna start another chant. Friday Night Live, Friday Night Live. So yeah, boy, when we used to be getting ready to come out of that tunnel, that was Jones High. That's what we were saying in the locker room. Like, it's showtime. It's Friday night live. Who's showing up?
Showing up.
So high school, man, was one of the joys for, I know, all of us. Man, I think we had a tremendous time coming out of Jones High School. But one of the things that obviously Rodney's in this area, one of the things that kids seem to lack is that internal motivation, that I want to do this, and I don't care if coach them having workouts or not. We had never heard of workouts, at least us over Jones High School. We did it on our own as teammates. We meet different places and go run hills and all that kind of stuff. From each one of you guys, we'll start with Russ. Russ, what was summertime like for you, training mode? Because this alignment, so they're a little bit different from skill guys. Did we lose Russ?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay. Well, we'll go to you, Cameron. What was summertime like workouts?
You gotta think, you remember my pops now, so
yeah.
He had me. I was at the Nautilus over there off of Hawaii and Silver Star from the time I can remember. He always had me in there. And he used to have me pushing cars and breaking up multivitamins and my stuff all the time. He always had me doing workout because that was what he was a part of.
Right.
And then once I stopped growing and got slow and all that kind of stuff, he used to wake me up and hold me up by my head and try to get me to stretch out. I swear, I promise, bro. That's no lie.
Get Joe locked up.
I promise you. I'm telling you, he used to do that. And he was always a big workout boy. So I was always working out. I was always doing that type of thing, man. Always.
So all us was always afraid of Cameron Daddy. He was the biggest dude we knew.
It's the size, but don't play.
OZ, man, how about yourself? What summers was like for you?
Man, you already know what the summers was like, man. We was hungry, bro. So you already know it. every morning, boy, we was at E High Stadiums, running them stadiums and strength shoes. You already know we were pulling tires. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, boy, we did this every day faithfully the whole summer. You know what I'm saying? Work out, hit the weights. You know what I'm saying? Because we always just wanted to be the best player on the field. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to put in that work to be the best player on the field. So every day, bro, you already know what we did every day. I'm talking about random stadiums, pulled them tires, weight room, ran hills, backpedal up hills. You know what I'm saying? We did everything, bro, every day, bro, faithfully, bro, whole summer, and it paid off on the field, bro. You already know.
How about you, Coach Wells? How was summertime for you? How'd you get prepared?
Oh, it was similar, man. I just remember we had different groups, and like the first group was at 6 a.m. You know, I don't remember 9th grade. I remember 10th grade. The first group was like at 6 a.m., man. So we used to have to walk. Ain't nobody taking us down there. We used to have to walk sometime, you know, wow, unless one of the dads got up and walk from Tangelo, get all the way to Dr. Phil. We used to get there by 6:20, 6:30. But we still got our workout in. And just like old talking about, we had, y'all know Dr. Phillips Stadium, them Panther miles. We had the strength shoes. You know, we probably had about 5 pairs of strength shoes circulating through everybody.
You all had money over there, boy.
Yeah, we had them strength shoes. So summer wasn't trying. I just remember about 3 or 4 of us, we used to go work out, be done by 8:39, and we used to go down the street to Wendy's and then go to work. So summer was good, man. We always, and that's where I get a lot of my stuff from. You know, right now, what we did, especially when we got our second coach, Coach Edenfield, because at first we had Coach Carlson and all those dudes. My 10th grade year, then they got let go. Then Edenfield and Gerke, and I forgot our defensive coordinator name, but he was an old dude. He used to have big old beach nut tobacco in his mouth. And he used to live at Dr. Phillips.
He was a vendor watcher. He was a vendor watcher. He was a vendor watcher.
Yeah, he used to live in the weight room, bro. That was his house for a minute because he came from like Mississippi. So that whole summer he lived in the weight room and he was always there. So we always grinded, man. We had a good time.
All right. I think, yeah, Barry, trouble for you.
Oh, y'all know me. I was that one that ain't really want to work out. If it weren't for you I wouldn't be working out. I'm just gonna keep it real. Still like that today. But hey, I appreciate my brothers getting me right to keep me strong and all that and injury free going through high school. You know, y'all helped me out a lot. Tremendous. You know, I get a hats off to both of y'all. It really kind of started with you, Kay. Started when we was in Mighty Mites. We used to get it in the back before we go to practice.
Yeah.
Lifting weights in the back, the concrete with the plastic around them. You know, we get it in. We get it in before we go to practice then. So, you know, you always been a motivator for me, and helping me out along the way with stuff like that as well, you know. So, that's what we used to do. We used to get it.
That's awesome, man. Next question is, obviously we were preparing to play. And once we were out there playing, wanted to know from everyone what drove you. What was in the back of your mind, and what was the situation that you were thinking about that allowed you to try your best and compete every single snap. And Coach Wells, the question is, what drove you? But I'm gonna start with OZ. Go ahead, OZ.
What drove me, bro? I just always wanted to be the best player on the field. You know what I'm saying? And besides that, we came from a winning program. Coming up, playing for Pine Hills and Southside. So I mean, I just always wanted to win, and you know, and I just never wanted to see nobody else outshine me on the field. You know what I'm saying? So really, that was my motivation, playing and getting ready, for a game.
Okay. Coach Wells, yourself.
Just the family. Before we played football, me and Donnie and all them boys in Tangelo, man, we was always, just running around the sandlot, touching the road, tackling the grass. You know what I mean? And we saw a whole lot of them. They had a whole lot of talent, that wasn't really making it. You know what I'm saying? And then I had a tough situation myself. My mom, raised by my grandma. So that's what I bring with me today. I always tell the guys, what is your why? What has you? That's what I bring to every year we come in. I talk to the boys, they write it down. What is your why? What has you? What is your passion? What is your fight? So my fight was, just seeing my grandma struggling, trying to take care of me, and my sister. So I only knew one way. We're going hard. Coach had to take me out of practice because practice was a game. We're no halfway stepping. We hit. We ain't got no pads on. I don't care. We're going full speed.
Wow.
That's how we was. That's how we was raised. So that's, that was always my why. That's what drove me.
B Love, man, Bear, what drove you? Same question.
Man, what drove me was just growing up in a single home, you know what I mean, with just a one parent, just raising two kids, seeing her just do what she needed to do to make us, happy. So I just always took all of that and put it on the field. I knew what I had to do to make her proud, because I always wanted to make her proud, my mom proud. You know what I'm saying? That what made me go hard all the time, because I knew that was that number one support, that lady there. So I just went hard all the time, man. No matter what it was, what it took. By me playing football, that was always my thing. Basketball was just to get by, just to play with the boys. Track was just to get by, but football, I love that so much. I don't think nobody could have took that away from me. So I just being out there on the field, just knowing that I knew what I had to do to get the job done, period. So I'm gonna go hard at hitting people hard. I might don't run as hard, because I wasn't the fastest player, but sideline to sideline, I can be the fastest player. So that's what that just drove me a lot, and just to make my family happy a lot too, and make myself feel good.
Pastor Russ, what drove you out there on the football field, man?
Oh, well, I like football, but more than that, my dad, my parents, they pastored the church, they taught school, they did a lot at the same time. So one big thing was my dad always used to say, "You're not gonna waste our time or our money." So he was like, "Yeah, you got potential, but potential ain't nothing till you put some pressure to it." He said, "Potential is nothing till you apply some pressure to it." So he put a lot of pressure. He said, "If you're gonna go out there, you need to be everything you're gonna be, or I'm not coming to watch."
Wow.
And my brother was a year older than me. My brother's a year older than me, and so I strove a little bit to be, I was class of '96, but I wanted to be as good as everybody in '95 at least.
Right.
And so I just went hard all the time, and I was big and I was pretty strong, and for my size, I was pretty fast. So I said, I'm gonna go hard and do the best I can every time, and it turned out good,
Wow. Well, Cameron, what drove you, man?
It's high school. You're talking about high school or just football and
Yeah,
period?
high school.
What drove me in high school was I wanted to get a scholarship. Like I got to a point where I stopped going. I was the slowest person on the team. I had lost all my little whatever athleticism I had. So by the time I kind of got it back my senior year, I wanted a football scholarship. Because I wasn't no high recruit. I wasn't noticed. I played tight end, and and so my whole motivation was, man, I need to get a scholarship. I gotta get me a football scholarship, one way or the other. My pops done all this. He done, just stayed up late with me and doing all this and all that, and buying the strength shoes and all that kind of stuff, man. And my job was just to get a football scholarship, because I didn't necessarily feel as though I had come into my own at the time I needed to. I felt like I was like a year and a half behind. Like I was a late bloomer. So at the time when it was time for everybody to get recruited, man, I wasn't nobody trying to holler at me. So my whole motivation, my whole drive at that point in time was to prove my coach wrong, and to get a scholarship, bro. And that was my main focus, and only thing I focused on during that time. That was it.
Man, that's awesome. Some great answers, man. What drove me were you guys. You guys all drove me. Whether playing next to Barry or trying to be as fast as Omari, or hearing about Russ over there killing everything at Edgewater, or seeing Cameron in the paper leading at tight end, a position I ain't even want to play, but he was beating me, so I need to win. I need to be better than him because he got more than me. So Barry, I was going at it at the coach like, you better throw me the ball at least twice. Twice. And Barry OZ will tell you, it ain't take but 2 times. I was probably gonna have 2 touchdowns. And then seeing Rodney them over there, seeing him and Kennard and Ike killing the offensive stats at quarterback and rushing, Rodney over there and Donnie with tackles, and then Kennard over there with the sack game. And I'm like, no, can't none of them be better than me. Because I looked at y'all, man, y'all were all better than me. And so I said, that can't happen. So literally every win, and even Barry, man, I'm telling you, Barry was sitting in the same locker room with me. We walking the same halls, and I'm grabbing the paper Wednesday. Every Wednesday, look at the stats just to see how many tackles he ahead of me, because I gotta catch him. And so we on the field fighting for tackles. Like, as much as I was playing the other team, I was playing him too. It's so amazing, man, that in that whole situation, man, you guys drove me, y'all motivated me, man, y'all pushed me and never even probably knew it.
That's a good answer, bro. That's a real good answer, because I ain't gonna lie. When I saw all y'all boys getting all these highlights and being in the paper and all that kind of stuff, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie now. I love y'all, but I was like, man, come on.
What's going on over there? What's going on over
there? I can't lie about that
every week.
I mean, man, I knew y'all numbers better than y'all. That's what was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew it better than y'all because
it was on them papers, yeah.
Yeah, I just
stats.
Man, I'm like, these jokers too darn good, man. I gotta come at them. So and when I look at kids, man, again nowadays, it's like they'll come on the same field, like, oh, that's Rodney Wells over there, man. He do this, he do that, and they in awe of him. I'm out there, I want to fight him. And I know him, and I love him, but I want to fight him today. Like, rather than dap it up, go get something to eat. When I see Russ, man, on the field, like, dude, I hate you.
Yeah, real talk.
Real talk.
Larry will tell you, let them, and OZ too, let them put us opposite in a practice. Ask them what's gonna happen.
Let's go.
And these dudes, both of their moms, like my mom, you know what I'm saying? We were together all the time, but let them, me play offense, they play defense, or vice versa. Ask them what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like y'all wouldn't even
no love.
And then I remember OZ, it was 2 or 3 times we about to fight in practice. He like, golly, like, hey, what you doing? like Rodney, man, it was game time. It was game time. Got me out here. They got me out here. They shouldn't have told me to come out here then.
Real talk.
Yeah. So, anything everybody else wanted to say about their high school experience, man?
Hey, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
B, I got a question. I've always had this question for you, B.
What's that?
How you end up at Evangel when it was you, the top 3 linebackers I seen here was you, K, and the dude from University.
University, yeah.
Why you end up going through Evangel and going nowhere where you should have been?
Well, first of all, I was supposed to go to Coffinville Junior College up here in Kansas through Virginia Tech, but being a knucklehead, somebody like me didn't know no better, didn't have that father figure, didn't have that extra role model, to help me along that line. So it was like, I ain't going no Coffinville. That's a 2-year college. I don't know nothing about it. I ain't going there. So I'm gonna just go to Evangel instead of going to Coffinville and letting Virginia Tech pick me up after that. But just being a knucklehead, then go that route, So that's what happened with that situation. And one of the coaches knew Coach Barfield up this way, and that's how we got all connected up here.
I got you.
Yeah.
So actually, Cameron, you jumped the gun. That was our next phase. But that's fine. So you done hit Barry with the college thing. Let's talk about your college experience, Barry. Go ahead and elaborate on your college experience and what you were able to do while you were there.
Well, I went to Evangel, played 4 years. I came up here in about 90 after I graduated, but eventually I left within that same year. I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't deal with it. It was a different environment from what we grew up in. So I came back home. Eventually, the coach got me back up here the following year, gave me my same full ride. Came back, did the 4 years, set a couple records up here, in Evangel. Went to different little, championships, little quarterfinals. Was on all state, all conference teams. I did.
He being very humble. He told it up. Like, translation ripped the league. I think he was defensive player of the year like two years in a row.
I know.
Yeah, I did my thing, from the Sunshine State, like how I put us on the map up here in the Missouri, the Midwest. I did do that. So I still got that good name up here. They know who I am by playing football, and that's a good thing, But other than that, it was a good experience just going to like a predominant, just all Christian school. You're learning things different than what you grew up around. So, that was a good experience for me. I met a lot of new people, and I still deal with a lot of them friends, just by being teammates. So like I can call them more than I can call a family member, and that's real, So that was a good bond that I had up here with the guys from Evangel, the players and stuff like that. So.
How was that weather?
The weather was bad at first, but now I done got it adjusted to it,
When you first got there?
When I first got here, it was like, man, I'm staying in. I'm staying in. The DNA. But then O came up here and we stayed in, and when it was snowing and all that, we stayed in, played video games. Sega. That was back in the day, the Sega game, Tecmo Bowl, Double Dribble, all them games there. So, but other than that, man, it was a good experience. I like the Midwest a little bit, but.
All right, Pastor Russ, he talked about a Christian school, so that leads us right to you. So, college, you're leaving high school. What happened? Because you were one of the better linemen in the state, offensive linemen in the state.
Well, I did. I had a whole.
Realize how dominant you were in on the football field, but you were right there with all these guys that's on the panel tonight. What happened, and then how was your college experience?
Oh, well, I had, to be honest with y'all, I had a bunch of full scholarship offers. I had like 11, I think 11, and I had decided to go to Howard. I was gonna play at Howard, and but then USF, they were doing their inaugural team. It was their first year of football, and my girlfriend, who is my wife now, but she graduated in '95, so she went to USF. So as soon as USF, in fact, me and Cameron and all them went on a visit to USF.
Yeah.
And but they offered me the next week, and so I was gonna go to Howard, and then I said, well, no, she already at USF. I'm gonna go to USF. And so then I got to USF, and I just in my mind I said, am I gonna make it to the NFL? And then in my mind I was like, nah, I may make it to play arena ball, but I'm probably not gonna make it to the NFL. I'm too short. It wasn't a skill thing, it wasn't a strength thing or nothing like that. But I ain't even 6 feet tall. So offensive line in NFL, if you're not 6 feet something, and I could long snap. I may have made it. I could do it if I long snap. But then I thought about it. I said, man, do I really want to commit 4 years to play football? And I know after this, I'm not going to be playing football. And so I just decided to go to college. And I just, my people was a little bit mad with me, but not too mad. And so I just went to college and went to USF for 4 years. In fact, Brother Cameron, his wife was there. We went to USF for 4 years, loved it, just had a great regular old college experience, didn't even play football. When I left college, came home and got married. Pastor in the church now.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Wells, so how was your college experience, and talk to us about your transition from high school, and the college you picked, and then why, and what happened once you got there?
Initially I chose Virginia Tech, like Barry was talking about, because Ike was there. I went on my visit to Virginia Tech, had a whole lot of offers, and then just like today, that's a whole nother subject. When you have a whole lot of offers, a lot of them offers ain't really offers. You know what I mean?
No, go with that.
Can't really accept them offers, but we'll talk about that later. So I had a whole lot of offers, but then it came down to North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Missouri, Syracuse, UCF, and South Florida. So I went to Syracuse first. No, I went to Virginia Tech first. I was there. I didn't like nothing about Virginia Tech. I didn't like it. I didn't vibe with it. Other than the party. Now, the party was good. But that was good. But other than that, I didn't really feel it. So I went there first, and I committed. And then I went to Syracuse a couple weeks later, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. The housing situation, they probably had like 18, 19 dudes from Florida at the time.
Wow.
And I went with Brown. D Brown is local.
Yeah.
Phil Nash, D Brown, Rod Gass, and all them boys was, from around here. So I went to Syracuse. I loved it. And I ended up flipping, from Virginia Tech to Syracuse. And the thing that got me flipped is funny is, and I tell him all the time, every time I see him, is Ed Ogeron. Ed Ogeron, the head coach right now. So Ed Ogeron got this crazy, crazy voice. He came after I committed to Virginia Tech. I thought it was over. You know what I mean? Because I already had been to Syracuse. I was done. I was going to Virginia Tech. They flew Ed Ogeron down. Hey, Rodney, you got to come up here. We got all these guys. These guys from Florida. You gonna fit in? Like, he put the whole deal on me and told me, man. So I flipped back, went to Syracuse, had a good, it was a hard adjustment, man. Because like Barry talking about, man, we talking about 5, 6 feet of snow, and it started snowing in like October. Like it's real up there, So it took me literally 2 years to get right, to get my mind right, to get adjusted. And then after my first 2 years, I redshirted. In my freshman year, I ain't played, at all. My sophomore year, played a lot of special teams. Then my junior and senior year, you know, I played. But it took a while, you know, for that adjustment and just way, and like Barry talking about different people, different folks, you know, they wearing Timberlands, you know, I'm like, man, I ain't wearing no Tim, you know, until I got out there in that winter, I'm like, let me get my 2-3 pair of Tims. That winter is real up there. But the education was top notch. My coaches, you know, was top notch. A lot of the things that I coach and do right now as a coach, I learned from, you know, the guys at Syracuse. So, you know, the college experience was really good for me.
Wow. OZ, talk about your experience and the choices you had, and then, you know, what led you to choose the school you did.
You know, Kalo, man, for me, I went to being recruited by mostly every school it was wanted me, you know what I'm saying, till I had, you know, tore my knee up. I think it was what, the 7th game of our senior year when I tore my ACL. And
I gave it Cypress Creek, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man, Cypress Creek, you know, that game there, you know, I had about three touchdowns and about 198 yards, man. But you know, after that game there, man, it just kind of just broke me, man, because you know, once I tore my ACL and found out it was a serious knee injury, it just, you know, and then, you know, from, you know, talking with the coaches and all that there, they had then told me, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of teams was going, you know, back off from me, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, during that time, a lot of D1 schools backed off from me, and probably like a few more teams that still was interested in me, but like, but then my senior year, I waited to the end to, you know, take the test, the, you know, the SAT test, ACT test, and didn't pass that. And so therefore I end up going to, you know, South Carolina State, because the you know, alumni at Jones High, Waddell Sims, he had, you know, talked to me a lot, and you know, he just kept on throwing SC State up to me. And once I went to go visit there, you know, I just, you know, just went on ahead and signed with, you know, South Carolina State. My first year couldn't play because I was a prop 48, you know what I'm saying? Had to sit out, and plus I was still, you know, rehabbing, you know what I'm saying? And then the next year, my knee was, it wasn't like 100%, but it was probably 90%. So they had red shirted me, but like one of the things led me to leave there to go team up with, you know, B Love at Evangel was I majored in business at, you know, South Carolina State, and like, you know, all of their business teachers was Arabs, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I couldn't understand nothing, bro, they were saying. So I would have had to change my major to actually stay there, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, talking with Barry and Coach Bearfield, he was trying to get me up there the whole time anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? I end up transferring down there, and, you know, I got down there, and it was a culture shock because, you know, growing up around, you know, all blacks, and, you know what I'm saying, to now transitioning to where it's only just a few of y'all up there, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was love up there though, you know what I'm saying? It was different, but up there, they end up moving me to cornerback, which was a, you know, spot I've been playing my whole life anyway. You know what I'm saying? And doing, you know, kick returns, punt returns. And so one year I led the nation in picks with, you know, 9 picks, you know what I'm saying? School record. I end up having the second longest kick return was 97 yards. Second longest punt return was 81 yards. So, I mean, you know, it was love up there, man, you know. It just was one of them things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just felt like that, you know, it ain't matter where you at, you still can make it. I don't care what school you at, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just gotta, you know, go up there and play with your heart and just do your thing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Evangel though, man, it was love though. It was a different experience.
Thank you, O. Now, Cameron, you led with you kind of almost told on yourself when you were talking about high school. So now you can tell the full story about, you know, what ended up happening, how you did eventually get recruited, and how you chose where you went.
Well, let me tell you real quick. This probably gonna be my favorite part of this segment. But after my junior year, bro, in high school, I went to my head coach and told him I wanted to play safety. He was like, "Man, you can't play safety, man. You run a 5.2 40, right?"
Put him in nose, coach. Man, no.
My dad was outside. He was like, "Man, if you don't go to college, man, you don't have to go on your grades, man." He was just that honest with me. And so he said, the only way I would ever think about putting you at safety would be if you run a 4.6. If you run a 4.6, so I'm running a 5.2. By that summer for my senior year, he clocked me at a 4.58 because I stopped growing. I finally got blossomed into kind of who I am right now. So anyway, I had a pretty good senior year, but I'm not getting recruited. You know, ain't really nobody coming to really holler at me. But something happened. A lot of the Evans was real good that year too, and a lot of the coaches was coming through Evans, and of course my pops was over there, and so Gerke, I don't rush, you may have never even heard this. Gerke was like, "Man, there's a kid over there at Edgewater that's falling through the cracks because he got a position. You need to go holler at him." And they came over there to come see me, and then at the time, Western Kentucky ended up offering me. The Citadel ended up offering me. USF didn't give me, they gave me what you call a gray shirt, Russ, where they wanted me to come in January. And then University of Cincinnati ended up coming and offering me. But mind you, this was all after signing day. Signing day was like early February. I ain't signed till the end of March. I signed March 25th.
Wow.
Right? But Cincinnati offered, Western offered. Tennessee State, the head coach from Tennessee State, ended up coming to Evans High School to tell my dad, "Man, he don't need to go to Northern, man. They ain't gonna win nothing up there." So anyway, I go up there. You talk about a shock. Bear, I asked you about the weather because I almost died my first one. I'm talking about, you said I'm serious, but they rushed me to the hospital.
Wow.
I didn't know I had exercise-induced asthma. I didn't know I had sickle cell until I passed out from running one night. And they took me to the hospital like 3-4 times, rushed me to the hospital, all that kind of stuff. So it took a long time, right? It took a long time for me to get used to it. So mind you, y'all know me. I play offense since y'all knew me.
Your whole life.
Okay, we used to laugh about it. I play offense all the way up. But they give me a scholarship to play linebacker. Y'all know that wasn't me. You can't used to laugh at me. That wasn't me. Literally the first practice, the offensive lineman came out to block me, and I swear to God, on in the play, I said, "Man, what you doing?" During the play, I ask officer lineman, what you doing? It took like 2 years for me to get like the defensive mentality. Kay used to help me out with it because I didn't know what I was doing out there. Once it clicked, and B, the head coach at Pattonville, he the one who made me all of a sudden start this. Once it clicked, everything slowed down. Man, I became a 3-year starter. I used to try to beat Kay, and all he used to call me talking about what you did this week. What you did this week. I ended up doing good, bro. I ended up being on the Buckets watch list, which was crazy to me, though. Like,
wow.
I did, and I know it was 3 that made it in the league. I was in camp. I was in the NFL camp, but I ain't make no team.
Right.
Give me that 4th one on that team, bro. Give me that 4th one. I got to check. But man, I love college, bro. Like being, and they said some of the best friends I still got, man. I talk to them all the time, man, and they my boys, man, and I loved it. It was great. I gotta switch. Y'all go ahead. I gotta switch to the phone now because the wife can't get on the computer. But that was what it was. I'm gonna jump right back on.
Hey, Miss Maria, can Cameron come outside?
Hey, I'm right back in.
Hey, that reminds me of you going to knock on your homeboy door. You call him, hey man, come on outside, right?
Can you go ahead and lay them down?
Well, yeah, your homeboy, you knock on you call your homeboy asking him, can he come outside and play, right? And then he like, no man, come over and ask my mama them. You know what I'm saying? So then you gotta come over there, knock on his door and ask his mama, can he come outside and play? That's what
she'll say, yeah, if you ask. She'll say,
yeah.
If I ask, she gonna say no.
Oh man, I tell you what, I'll throw my 2 cents into this college thing. I thought about something Russ said. Russ said basically he kept it real with himself and said, am I gonna, move forward with this? And he decided at that point, no, so he done. I know for myself, that happened to me with basketball, because I loved basketball way more than football growing up. So during this whole time we playing football and stuff like that, I'm hooping as well. And I remember who made me keep it real was the varsity basketball coach when he decided to not pick me to play varsity after I played varsity football my sophomore year. And it was at that point where I say, man, I'll never work out basketball wise again. I'ma still play, but I ain't going to shoot nothing, going to work on no handles, none of that stuff. It's straight football from now on. So I still played basketball for the next couple years as well, but I only focused and only trained on football during that whole time. So, keeping it real with yourself, and when others keep it real with you, you better listen. Kind of we talked about college memories. If anybody want to throw out there some of the toughest college memories, the funnest or funniest. I remember we talked about a couple of times about Virginia Tech when Ike came. They came our year to recruit. I think Virginia Tech felt like they found a home here because they were trying to get all of us. And I actually remember them trying to get myself, Barry, and OZ, along with Ike, all from Virginia Tech our year. And they came back for you, Rodney, but they were trying to get us that year. And so it was like, man, it's too cold up there. That's what I was thinking. So, but I still, if my boys had went, I probably would have went too. But they decided, other things. So I was like, chose Duke or whatever. But I'll tell you guys, our senior year, I'm sitting there watching the national championship, and Ike is out there doing his thing. Right? And I'm like, dang, why we ain't go to Virginia Tech? That's what I'm sitting there saying, watching TV, like, dang, we would have killed Florida State if all of us was. And still, so I'm gonna throw my actually, man, the coldest play, and I know I didn't even ask you guys this, but I felt like I had one of the coldest plays, if not the coldest play in college football history, when that cat knocked out that receiver, ran a post against Florida State. He was a cover 3 corner on the other side, safety, and knocked him out. And that cat camera focused in on Ike, and that cat did this. When he went, and he really slapped him though. They had to come get him. I was like, oh my goodness, that's the oldest play ever. So you guys can go, Omar, start with you. Any funniest memories or tough memories and all that stuff with college? Just
I just yucky one.
Don't see you heard me.
Come on. Yeah.
OZ, did we lose you? Barry, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I can.
Go ahead.
My memory.
Oh. Okay, I'm back on.
All right, go ahead.
Tough memories in college, man, was really me, man, playing up there in Springfield, bro. Like, it'll be 10 degrees outside, raining, like pouring down, raining, bro. We was out there playing in weather like that. So, you know, that was something I'm like, man, I'd be glad when this game over with, bro. It's 10 degrees and it's raining outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what in the world I done got myself into? It's 10 degrees and it's raining outside. I say, man, but you know, playing in weather like that up there, man, it was crazy. I had to adapt fast.
How about yourself, man?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. Man, my memories probably back when college, when I played against one of these guys, Goodman. He played with Green Bay Packers, but he played for I think he played with Graceland up here. Man, that was one fast dude there that I always used to talk trash to him on the field, but never could catch him unless he coming through the hole. Couldn't catch him on the outsides of the hole until one play I actually really got him real good, and I was able to like pick him up and slam him, and they made a little highlight of it, and then like in college they had it on one of the recruiting things with him and me tackling him, picking him up, slamming him. But that was a good little memory there, and I used to always, you know, still stay in contact with him and stuff like that. He was a good guy, good man. But other than that, just like O said, playing in the snow, 5 below, man, that was crucial for the Florida boys up here. Like, we always used to have our hands in our pants and hands in our warmers, just always being cold. I'm talking, my hands feel like they broke every time, but boy, you knew you had to be out there on that gridiron out there on that field. But other than that, that's it, man.
How about yourself?
Good college memory.
Will.
Same thing, man. We had to deal with that weather. The biggest thing that got me was the big lie they told. They said, you know, Syracuse got the Carrier Dome.
Right.
Yeah. So they recruiting everybody. Look, when it get cold, it starts snowing, we go to the dome. You know, we just practice in the dome. So the dome is we live probably about half a mile away from the complex, and the dome is probably a mile away. complex, you know, so you have to ride a bus, you know, everywhere you go. So they would tell us we live, you know, we're gonna practice in the dome. Man, we got up there, we ain't never practiced in the dome. We was outside. We had that old school AstroTurf, you know, not this good turf. That old school
that
carpet.
hurt you.
I still got, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, take your skin off.
Your skin up. And we never went. Only time we went to the dome, if we played in the dome, we went to the dome on Fridays. You know, our Friday walkthrough. Other than that, we was outside at the complex. You know what I mean? So that was part of the culture shock. That would took me a couple of years to get right. But like Barry said, like all of us said, man, our college teammate, the only people I talk to in text, I got a group text, and it's my college boys. You know, a couple guys at my wedding, you know, there was my high school teammates or my college teammates. But my biggest memory is probably because I was supposed to go to UCF. UCF was driving, I think it was my senior year, junior or senior. I think it was my senior year. UCF was driving, I think we was up probably 6. It was a tight game, and my teammate, my high school teammate, Doug Gabriel, was at UCF in the NFL for a while. So it was a close game. It was fourth quarter, and they threw a little shallow route. Y'all know defense guys, if they got a shallow, remember they always gonna have a dig behind it.
Yes, sir.
Working on that dig all week. So they had the shallow. Coach said, don't jump the shallow because it's something in front of you. It's gonna be something behind you, right? So I was just I stuck, and I'm like, damn, if it's something in front of you, it's something behind you.
Right.
So drop back, it probably was about 3-4 yards, you know, and he threw that dig, you know, I jumped up and I caught my only career interception.
Wow.
Versus UCF. And we closed out the game and we won the game versus UCF. So that was probably it. Just because it was UCF, it was Doug. You know, Doug was doing big things. He went on to play in the NFL. So that was probably my biggest college memory.
How about yourself, Pastor Russ?
Oh, y'all know I didn't play college ball, so I didn't go on to play football, so I don't have any football.
I ain't want to leave you out though.
Oh, nah. I had a great college experience, but it ain't really have nothing to do with football.
Hey, but you brought a beautiful thing home with you.
Oh yes, and she here with me now. She here with me now. 20-something years later.
Cameron, how about yourself?
Well, I missed the question.
So it was just things that stood out, important college memories, you know, fun, funny, whatever. Tough.
I know Rodney had beat me to it, man, but I was basically in Canada where I was playing at, and we was playing on that green carpet, which was laying over top of cement. And boy, look at here. It was my last game my senior year, dog. It was 0 degrees. That was the temperature. It was 0, not even with the wind chill. My sister came up there for the game, and she was in the stands crying because she was cold. Not that she was sad or she was in pain. She was crying because she was cold. But my favorite, I guess, memory would be, one of my favorite memories would be coming down here and playing UCF Dante senior year.
Oh wow.
And your mama came to the game, bro. We got her tickets. I had about 50 people in the stand.
Wow.
And it was my sophomore year, so I started and I balled, bro. I got defensive player of the game. Now we lost. We went in there with a 22-game losing streak. We lost, but we went in there. We played good though, and I played well. You know, and then after the game, you know, when you about to get on the buses and everybody out there waiting on you, you know, that was a great feeling, man. Being back home at the crib, you know, right across the street from where y'all played at. That was a great feeling, bro. That was a great feeling.
Wow. So I'll jump in there and say, so my first game of my career, I know Cameron said he met me when I was 7. I was actually 6.
Oh, that's right. You are young. That's right.
Because I have an October birthday. So I have an October birthday. So I was 17 playing, true freshman playing at Duke, first year against Florida State. They #1 in the country at Doak Campbell. And it's 78,000 doing their stuff and screaming. I actually played well, balled out, had a pick, a sack, bunch of tackles, like first game. So I'm like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I'm good. I belong here. Right? And Duke they got smart. So they started putting cause you know, the ACC were monsters during that time. But Duke was smart, so they put schools that were like us, but in other conferences, trying to get more of those games. So they tied us into Vanderbilt and
Wake Forest
in my career, but also Northwestern. So I'm like, the very next week, I said, I just played the #1 team in the country, Florida State, and I did my thing. Bring them on, man. Them guys got off that bus, and let's just talk about the Big Ten is different from everybody else. They got off that bus. Lineman was the biggest human beings I had ever seen in my life, and I'm just looking over there like, what? But I'm thinking, shoot, they ain't gonna touch me. I'm gonna just hit this running back. Listen, they running I formation downhill right
ISO
every time. Power and
trap ISO power.
That's it. That's it.
You ain't hitting them. You hitting them fullback.
Ain't no running around nobody for that. You got to come see the Piper. You got to pay up. So I'm sitting there and again, though, they Northwestern, they supposed to be trash like us. Right? Listen, man, they score, it's like 10 yards, 12 yards, 15 touchdowns. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, man, we that terrible. Of course, Florida State, #1 in the country. They done lit us up, probably put 60 on the board. Northwestern come behind them and put up like 40. But you know, for a Big Ten team back then, that's like 80. Because they running the ball every snap. Come to find out, man, they win the Big Ten and go to the Rose Bowl with that.
Oh, that was that year.
They beat Penn State. They beat Ohio State. They beat every last one of them. Darnell Archery, the Heisman hopeful, was they running back. I was like, thank you, Lord, because they had ruined my life. I had went from a super high to a super low, all in the span of a week. So, final question I got for y'all, man. I know the old African proverbs is, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. And you guys, each and every one of you have accomplished a lot, even post football careers, but definitely, you know, in the area of football. What would you guys, what advice or what would you say to at that time, at when you were, you know, chasing your dream, or to a student right now that's chasing their dream and trying to make it to somewhere that you've already accomplished? What would you say to that kid? And Coach Wells, we'll start with you, because I know it's something you deal with daily.
Man, it's tough, man. And what you said is what it is. And man, I'm so entrenched in my faith, because I know I'm where I'm supposed to be and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Because it was coaches that got me saved. You know what I'm saying? It was coaches like Coach Hayslip, you know, Coach Donnie, that, you know, that taught me about Christ, that taught me everything. It was coaches that took me, you know, on these college visits. because like Barry said, I didn't have a father. It was just me and grandma. You know, and grandma didn't know nothing. She was old school. She was just trying to, you know, keep us fed and keep the house, you know, keep the rent paid. So she didn't know nothing. So everything I learned was from an outside source. So I believe really that's the reason, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And I have so much gratitude in what I'm doing. You know, you're never gonna get rich, you know, coaching high school football. That's, you know, that's not why, you know, we do it. But I feel like me and my wife have an argument all the time. Why you always waking up? You always waking up this. Cause my wife wake up, she got 5, 6 alarms. And I'm like, why you got all these alarms, this and that? You know, when I wake, I beat my alarm. My alarm don't wake me up. I beat my alarm. I'll be excited because I know, you know, it's something that I got to give to these kids, you know, and like them coaches gave to me, I got to give back, you know, to these kids. So it's a village. Brothers like y'all, man, we need more help, you know what I'm saying? Because coaches at the schools, little league, middle school, high school, we just need more brothers touching these guys because they don't know. You know, these kids have no clue. They have no guidance. A lot of them are like me and Barry, ain't no daddy in the house. You know what I'm saying? We might see daddy on Friday, you know what I'm saying, at the football game, probably not. But, you know, when it's time to talk about the SAT and the ACT and what he got to do and grades and, you know, meeting with the counselor and all this stuff, signing up for the NCAA, ain't nobody there. You know what I'm saying? So these kids are really, really lost. So, man, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing right now. You know, I'm excited about it. And these kids just need help, you know, in our community. And my whole thing is, somebody reached on this earlier, you know, talking about Coach Donnie and Coach Scott. When you're a coach for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So Jones, Evan, Ovid, whatever, I done had parents, all kinds of people reach out to me, even though they didn't play, you know what I'm saying, for Dr. Phillips. My whole thing is we need young black boys to get a college degree. I don't care if it's through football, I don't care how it is, whatever it is, y'all got to get a college degree or some kind of, you know, postgraduate certification. If it's not a college degree, some kind of 2-year degree, something, you know, so you can take care, you know, of yourself and your family. So, you know, that's my purpose right now. That's my mission. That's my vision. And we got way too much, especially in Orlando and everywhere else, got way too much garbage going on, way too many adults, you know, making it about them, all these trainers and all this 7-on-7 and all these high school coaches, you know, talking about me and I did this and I did that, man. It ain't about that, man. It's about a mission of getting these young black boys, you know, understanding what they need to do, setting them up, you know, for the next level and being able to take care of their own family and not repeating, you know, the cycle. You know, I'm part of the cycle and I broke the cycle just because, you know, I was able to have good people around me like Coach Donnie and my high school coaches and, you know, people like that. So I don't even know what the question was, but I just rambled.
You probably bro probably done summed it up for everything up in there. That's a good,
You ain't sneaking out, Bear. How about yourself? What would you say to a young guy like Bear was coming out of high school or actually going into high school to set him up for his future?
Man, me personally, how I do it is just basically like I'm now coaching high school and coach this little youth team up here. I just more try to be not just a father figure to them, but the things that I learned growing up just by just going out, just doing it, doing what you want to do, giving it your all, having hard, and you should succeed. And you know, you will succeed. Just having hard and just the ability of doing what you want to do and playing football. You know, listening, being respectful. You know, that's a number one key. You know, by me just growing up, just by having a respect for your coaches, your teammates, and you should succeed, you know. But you know, things like like nowadays, you know, a lot of these kids these days that I, see up here, I'm not in a Florida situation, but like the respect and the heart.
Right.
Them the two keys. And I try to preach that to them a lot by just having the respect, and it'll carry you a longer ways than anything, just not just on this football field. So that's my thing is I just do right now, just teaching them about respect, and all that.
Thank you, Barry. How about yourself, Jose? What would you tell?
One of the main things I would say, man, just like Rodney said, man, just putting God first, you know what I'm saying? Because we tend to seek God later, once we older and been through some things, you know what I'm saying? So me, I would tell the young kids to seek God early at a early age, and because he the way now, you know what I'm saying? Just seek God first, man, and just work on your craft. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, just work hard at it, man. You know the work that you got to put into it. You know what I'm saying? And really just, stay out the way, man, because it's so easy to get into trouble or get off focus, you know what I'm saying? So, just be focused, man. And plus, put them games down, them PlayStations and all that stuff, man, and start training and reading and you know what I'm saying? Doing some stuff in you that's going, produce some things, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what I would say to them.
All right, Cameron, how about yourself?
To kind of piggyback on what OZ said, man, it would be sacrifice now. Don't look to have all the fun you can have right now. Not to say that you shouldn't, but you sacrifice now so you can play later, man. And I remember working out. I used to work out with Kennard when I was trying to get into the league. And I remember Kennard, people used to make fun of him when he was at Miami because he said he was never going out. He wasn't never hanging out. He was always just trying to focus on school and focus on football. And he always used to tell me, he's like, man, I always sacrificed and wish I could do this and wish I could do that. He said, but now I'm the one who can do that and do this and do that. And it was because of my sacrifice that I made to the game, to my craft, to school, and so on and so forth. And so one thing I wish that I would have done was I was so laser focused on trying to make it to the league that I kind of burnt bridges with everything else other than football. Like I messed up an internship with the Magic. I did all kind of other stuff, just being laser focused on football, and which you should be if that's what you want to do. But that don't necessarily mean burn bridges with everybody, with everything else. So that would be what I would say, man. Be focused, know what you want to do. And even in going into college, I'm sure Rodney can probably appreciate it, man. You got to be coachable. You got to be coachable. First and foremost, man. Like if you can't take coaching or if you taking things personal, man, you blocking the coach from doing what he's trying to do if you taking things personal, man, because that's not what it is. And if they own you, it's because they see something in you. The worst thing that you want them to do is to not be on you, because they may have just kind of figured you might not ever get it, might be giving up on you. So that would be what I would say to the young kids right now. Just remain coachable, focus on what you need to do, and make sure you don't burn no bridges, because I know I sure did.
Pastor Russ, go ahead and close us out, man.
Oh, well, first of all, I want to say everything that all of y'all said is amazing advice. Now I'm not a high school coach, but I am a pastor and a coach in life.
Amen.
And so
Absolutely.
So and I'm proud to be Coach Rodney, one of his life coaches. He'll partner over at my church. But what I would like to say I say this to all the young people that I talk to, all the young, especially the young Black guys I talk to. Everybody always tell you there's no shortcut to success. And I tell them, wait, you missed it. Yes, there is. It's called mentorship. It's experience without the pain. And so Coach Rodney can teach them boys in a few months what it took him 15, 20 years to learn, if they're willing to listen and submit themselves to his authority, knowing that he has their best interests at heart. And so everybody who's on this call tonight, I know that you guys exercise influence and mentor other young brothers. If they can just submit themselves to you long enough for you to get some information in them, they'll be light years ahead of where we are. And so that's my life's goal, is that everybody I'm able to deposit something into outruns me. It don't offend me when they outrun me. It actually excites me when they outrun me, because I like to say I played a part of that and they stand on my shoulders. So what I try to say to the young brothers, especially the young Black brothers, is find you some trusted mentors and listen to everything they say. And if you listen to everything they say, you'll be so much further down the road, and you stay committed, stay faithful. Number one, of course, I like the way OZ said it, find God early. Boy, if you get God early, it's a whole bunch of regrets that you won't have. I never heard anybody say, I regret working so hard. I regret doing my best. I regret being on time. I never heard anybody say that. But I've always heard people say, man, I wish I had got saved earlier. I wish I had gone to class like I should. I wish I had done this and done that. And the truth of the matter is, if they had proper mentorship that they were submitted to, they would have been able to do that. And that's what I like to say.
Oh man, that's huge, man. Well, I want to personally thank each and every one of y'all, man, for coming on and doing this and spending a couple hours with us. I know you guys all got families and some people pulling and tugging on you, but I really appreciate you guys doing this, and we definitely, if you know, in the future need to do something like this again, guys. So I appreciate you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Brother.
Much love. Much love.
Let's talk together, man. A week or two, we need to do it again. We're gonna be home.
Let's do it again.
Absolutely. Well, good night, fellas, and I'll let all y'all, man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Later.
I'll be easy, man.
Yes, sir.
Good seeing y'all.
Easy.